computer. Yep.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Well, welcome back to Swords of Theringia. Today we're returning to Shadrazar to follow up on the further adventures of Hamze and Yuri and Yalu. Excuse me. Yuri is a different character. Yalu and Hamze.
Yep.
Okay. And you're in the city of Shadrazar. Last time we followed Hamze as he had woken up in the plague pit after being betrayed by his lieutenant in the bigger court and displaced as bigger king. And with the aid of the brothers of a daughter of a merchant family who he was courting, and the brothers helped Buzur dispose, or at least they thought they disposed of Hamze. However, his cloak Gisu made a significant difference in how he survived the beating the brothers provided. And he found himself in the plague pit and then made a escape from the plague pit through the catacombs, and in the process ran into what seems to have been a supernatural pack of rats. He escaped the pack of rats and arrived eventually at a safe spot, cache of weapons and supplies that he had set aside for himself, and recovered himself, and then decided to go out and I'm not exactly sure. Was it?
I was originally planning on kind of recruiting some, kind of getting in touch with some kind of lower level apprentice beggars to kind of help find out what was going on. But I was then discovered by Farid, who seemed to be antagonistic towards me, but I bent him to my will, and then decided that I wasn't going to take a skulking around approach, but I was going to go take on that usurper more directly.
Okay, yes, and his name was Farid, and he's one of your old lieutenants, and it appears that he has retained his loyalty to you.
Barely.
Yeah, so at this point, you and Farid are planning to return to confront Buzur, and we can talk about that in a minute. So to summarize Yalu, Yalu started the last session in a situation where he was at a salon, a party, essentially, at the merchant house, which is also the place where Ashara lives, and where Yalu's rival, Attis, is master of music. And they had a bit of an exchange of wills and performance to try and humiliate each other. And at which point, shortly after that, Yalu said, well, there's something about information being betrayed. I can't remember what that was. You discovered that one of your house servants was a spy for Attis. And the other thing I remember, of course, is your kicker, which is the previous day you had run into a strange bard who had sung about this instrument of the old ones that was in the hall of the Yellow King underneath the city of Shadrazar, and it conveys great musical talent upon those who are talented. And so Yalu decided to go out and find this. So his next step after the salon was in the morning going to talk to the Grand Vizier to get access to the Emir's library, where there's theoretically, that was it. he actually mentioned at the salon, Yellow actually mentioned in front of everybody the story of the Instrument of the Old Ones. And he got a lead on a possible book that was in the Emir's library. And so this is why he talked to the Grand Vizier and has since gotten permission to go into the library. So at this point, let me bring around an appropriate, here we are now in the library. And one thing I want to do is get, so Yalu, do you want to do anything before you go to the library? Just
No,
let me check.
I'm fine with just starting in the library.
Okay. So you go there and the old librarian meets you, and what do you say?
I just tell him that you so I just like after exchanging some pleasantries or politenesses, I just tell him that I'm looking for the tomb of the Yellow Key, and was led to believe that there might be some ancient manuscripts in the library that would shed light on how to get there, where to find it under the city.
Ah, he says, very interesting. We have done some research on that. Let me see. I believe that there is a book, and he starts rooting around, and he says, it doesn't seem to be where I expected it to be. We're looking for the book of Al-Hamad, and which records many of the ancient and hidden places underneath the city of Shadrazar.
Okay.
And what I need you to do is tell me how you're looking for. He invites you to help. So how are you helping look for this book?
Okay. Okay, so the book is just somewhere in this library. He doesn't know specifically.
It seems he said he doesn't seem to be able to find it where he normally is.
Okay. I don't have much I can contribute other than the blood, sweat, and tears method of just literally going through the cubicles one by one, pulling out books and ruling them out, I guess.
Well, okay. Do you think your cover, your stamina, or your will would apply to that?
It might actually be stamina, just on the basis of how tedious the labor is.
Okay.
Or I don't know how, it doesn't feel like an exercise of will. It just feels like an exercise of being willing to, I don't know.
Pound your way through dusty books and
I'm philosophically confused by this, but stamina just intuitively feels more correct.
Okay. Well, what's your descriptor for stamina, by the way?
I think it's arcane regimen. Like I have my weird breathing exercises and meditative discipline.
And for will, it's
it may have been. Where's my character sheet? I thought it might have been Zest for Life. That's right.
That sounds about right. Let me see what's on my record. Yep, Zest for Life is will.
Yeah.
Stamina is arcane regimen. So I mean, you could make an argument for each one. It's just a matter of flavor, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just given what I described myself doing, feels
all right.
More stamina. Like I said, it's a bit of a philosophical gray area, but
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
stamina
you've
4.
got opposition in finding this book, so
Okay.
roll those dice.
Okay. I have sorry, I'm ready. Ready when you are.
Oh, I've rolled. What have you got?
I have a 10 as my highest.
Okay, what's the? So 7 is my highest. How many dice do you have?
Okay, just the 10. My next.
Okay. Okay. Uh, you find the book,
Okay.
and what do you do with it once you find it?
I read the book.
You're going to sit down in the sunny corner and
Yeah, that's
read the
correct.
book.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
I wasn't able to find a nice medieval Arab
That's-
library picture,
That's
but
all right.
you can imagine that it's got very large clerestory windows that let in sunlight at all times, and maybe even
Yeah.
giant, like big bronze mirrors to help focus light so that people can see things without having to burn candles all the time or oil lamps. And so you sit down and you start looking. So at this point, I need you to roll your lore.
Oh, uh-oh. That's ironically not really my deal.
Yep.
All right.
I've rolled.
I have a 5.
I have a 6 and a 4.
Okay.
So I beat you by 1. So it's taking a significant amount of time. And after a while, the librarian is going around in the background, taking care of things, sorting things, putting books around. He sits down and he continues to add to the catalog of what's in the library and that kind of thing. After a while, a man of about 31 in very carefully coiffured goatee and black hair, rather athletic looking, walks in, and you recognize him as the emir himself. This is the young emir. And I have give him a name. Yeah, there he is. The young emir is Zahir.
Okay.
And he looks at you, and then he goes over and talks to the librarian, and you overhear them talking in quiet voices, and then Zahir looks up and says, "He did," and he goes over and he looks. You have the Book of Al-Hamad.
Yes, my lord.
What is your interest in the Book of Al-Hamad?
I'll tell him I seek the tomb of the yellow king to play the instrument that lies therein.
Oh, this is not something I have heard of.
Yes,
I'm afraid I have an interest in this book.
Okay. Your Excellency, I yield the book to you, but may I ask if you are able to read it, if you could tell me, for it is very difficult material.
Oh, you're flattering him. Okay, that sounds like either will or cover, depending on what you prefer.
It's 5 either way, so.
Okay. Let me see. What is the emir's stats? Oh, okay.
Well, this is a real stinker.
My best is an 8.
Okay, I have a 6, so
Okay. He says, well, if I come across it, I will let you know. And right now, I wish to return to study the volume.
Okay.
If you would, sir.
I turn it over to him respectfully.
Thank you. So he picks up the book, and I think he's going to go to what is obviously the like the golden desk that's in the best sunlight.
Mhm.
Unless you happen to be sitting there, which you have chosen that, or
Not necessarily. I'm probably more of a window nook sitter, I would think.
okay. So he goes and he sits down and he opens up the book, and he's sitting there and he's tapping away nervously on the book while he's flipping through the pages and reading. He seems to be looking for something. The librarian comes up to you and says, "Is there anything else I can do for you?"
Um,
Oh, wonder of the age.
that seems unnecessary. Anyway, I will sort of like huffily get up and say, well, no, I suppose not. I will have to take another try at the book after His Excellency is done with it. If I have another, if Lord Quince, if the Lord will give me another chance.
He has instructed me that you may have access whenever it's not in use. So you're welcome to return.
All right. Thank you very much. I will take my leave. I have duties to attend to.
All right.
What's going on?
You leave. Do you have any idea what you're going to do next, or do you need shall I switch away? I'm not. Just to give you an idea, maybe we'll just say I'll leave you to think about that, and I'll go.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
To John. So, Hamza,
Yeah.
you and Farid are walking down the street, and let's see here. How are you approaching this? You going straight? You being covert? Tell me, is your immediate plan to go straight to the Beggar's Hall?
Yes, yeah. I'm at the moment not being covert. I'm confidently. I'm proceeding very confidently. Farid has kind of fallen in, I think, with me here. I think that's my understanding of the outcome from last time, that he's and that's kind of making me. I'm not going to skulk with Farid. I'm not going to let Farid see me like skulk. I'm going to continue to like lead with a great deal of that aristocratic bearing. And I will be, I imagine even like as we go through the city and we're passing, different we're kind of making our way through the crowds, and I'm just, sort of, maybe even other people are kind of kind of getting out of my way or like moving, even if they don't know exactly who I am or whatever, but just
But there are some people who do know who you are, and they are stepping back, and you actually hear occasional comments behind you, whispers of, "I thought he was dead."
That was good. Yeah, that would be good. Yes. Yeah. I like that.
And you are striding along with Farid at your side. He's covering your offhand. No, if your weapon hand is right-handed, he's on your left.
Yeah.
And somebody slips through the crowd. As usual during the day, the streets are rather narrow in most of the places, except near the Plaza of the Emir. And someone in a women's clothing,
Hmm.
rather small, slips up beside you and says, Hamze, Hamze, or using terms of respect, Sir Hamze. You have to help me. I can't find Ashara. And then when you look at her, you realize that behind the veil is Ida, Ashara's maid.
Okay. So I'm when I recognize her, I want to like get to the side. I want to like pull her aside and find a, step out of the street or step into some type of like alcove or something that so I can have a conversation, and I'll tell Fareed, wait, like keep an eye out for me, but I must talk with this this woman.
Yes, sir, will do. So you slip into like a doorway, a recessed doorway, and she looks up at you and says, Ashara, at the salon last night, we guested several other merchant houses, and she was quite distracted. She did not even pay any attention to the wonderful music of our musician Attis or the visitor Yalu. And after I helped her get to bed that night, when I checked in the morning, she was gone. Then you must be careful because her brothers are out looking for her as well.
Did she give you any, did you have any warning, or did you have any did she give you any warning that this might be, this was her plan, that she had planned to flee from her family?
She did bewail the fact that you had not shown up for 24 hours, and was being teased by her brothers. So she suspected something had happened.
Okay.
And one thing I noticed in the morning was that she had been reading one of the romances where the princess does not tolerate being kept within the seraglio and escapes to seek and meet with her love.
Okay. So if I think that if I was, basing my thinking on the premise that, okay, if she did kind of run away to find me, is there a place that I think she'd go to, or like I think she would, that was like special to us, or like, is that
so there could be places special to you? That would make sense.
Yeah.
You had told me last time she also knew that you were the Baker King.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because if she was, so I'll say to with Ida, if she left on her own power to seek me out, then she very well might be have decided to go to the hall of our guild, and in which case, I've got to, that's where I was headed anyways, and we shouldn't delay. Like I wouldn't. I kind of want to assure that like this is my priority is to kind of help find Ashara. Like, and I really do feel that way, but I am thinking like, yeah, maybe that she could have gone there, or um, oh yeah, that's where I want to go anyways. Yes, yeah. So because even if I want to find her, then kind of mobilizing, like getting back in charge of my beggar network and like mobilizing them to find her is a better option than me running around. So that's the best way to go. Okay. That's kind of, and so Hamzy sort of sorts that out in his head, and then says, okay, come with us, and he'll have her come along, I think. Yes.
Okay.
She'll go. Like, I mean, I'm not going to force her, but.
Well, yeah, she was about to be distressed about what happens to her next, but she is so relieved because the master might have beaten her for losing her mistress. So, all right. So from here on, how are you proceeding to the Beggar's Hall?
So I think I think I'm moving. I think a little more with a little more. There's like definitely like a more anxious energy now that this is involved. Like I had been fairly confident and sort of feeling pretty commanding, but now I am worried. But I'll try to pull myself together before making an entrance there, because I do feel the need to, like, I've got to dominate this room if I'm gonna just be able to stare down Bazaar and win people back over. So I'm gonna try to push back the thoughts right now of Ashara, and remind kind of keep try to push her out of my mind for the moment.
Okay. And if you would then make a roll, let me see. Okay. So tell me what your descriptors for your stamina, will, and
stamina is the arcane regimen. Will is aristocratic was it aristocratic bearing, aristocrat, and then lore is adept.
Okay. Well, actually, I think you're going to be rolling 7 dice for Gisu's ability to hear things.
Oh, good. Okay.
Or rather, to give you hearing.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Let's roll them now.
Yep.
Okay. I've got a 10. A single 10.
Okay. What's your next one? My highest is a 6.
Oh, so I've got a 10 and a 9, and then the next highest is 4. So 10 and a 9, two successes.
Win by 2. You are a fair distance off when you hear through the preternatural hearing sense that you have in amongst the crowd with their random talking and this kind of thing. You hear one of Ashara's brother's voice. You recognize it, saying, "There he is."
Oh.
And you realize they're a fair distance away, but they have spotted you. I don't want to deal with these guys. I will try to I'll turn to Farid and say, I have my enemies are closing in. We must fly. Like, so, just run. So, and then we'll move and then I'm going to kind of, still with taking Ida with me. I think if we can say that the
the preternatural hearing gave me a little bit of a
I'm
jump.
gonna give you, if we make a roll based on this, you're gonna get a 2 dice.
Yeah, then
advantage.
I'll kind of grab her and I want to now use my knowledge of the streets here and kind of getting around quickly and sort of laying low and now I'm going to use the kind of sneaking, but this sort of fast movement. I picture that, like, the beggar lore, the beggar kind of secrets of, like, quickly moving from one place to another, knowing the different back alleys and
which ones are dead ends and which ones you can, like, climb over the nearby house and come down the other side, or
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to use that knowledge to kind of quickly make my way, and I'll hope Farid can keep up with me.
Okay. Well, I would say that's your cover plus 2 dice.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm going to give your pursuer
cover plus 2 dice. Okay.
Oh, why don't I roll for Reed as well? If we're going to do this, we can try. I don't know whether it's orthogonal or what, but so you've got your dice, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to be rolling one dice for Ida and 4 dice for your other pursuers, and 4 dice for Farid, or 3 dice for Farid. So the pursuers, Ida and Farid. Okay, so your pursuer's high dice is a 10. What's your
9?
A 9. Okay, so they have one in. I think I'd have to say they caught up with you.
Yeah.
And of course, they've beaten both Farid and Ida also just by 1. So the 3 of you are all clustered together, or at least you can be, should you choose to be so. So you go down an alley, you make a turn, you run into an unexpected obstacle, somebody moving their vegetable cart or something, and it slows you down just enough so that when you get to the other side, the vegetable cart clears off and the 3 brothers are right on your heels. And at this point, they're in arm's length.
Okay. I don't like these guys. I mean, the last time, and I know. Wait, yeah. I mean, yeah. They've tried to kill me. On the other hand, what is their, like? Do they seem like they're immediately? Are they taking a violent approach? Are they?
They're yelling, "Grab him!
Yeah,
Knock him
okay.
down!"
I'm gonna.
Right now, they're looking to engage in fisticuffs or wrestling.
I'm gonna take out my sword, and I pull back Gisu and bring the sword out. I don't, if they want to press it from here, that's fine. But I want to kind of stare them down. Like,
okay,
the goal is to, like, back them off. Like, I've got Farid with me, who hopefully will be following my cue, and I want them to know that, like, if they want to do this, then they're gonna. One of them is probably gonna get killed. Like, maybe they'll get me, but That's my,
Okay.
like, I am trying to kind of bluff them or intimidate them off. I actually don't want to kill them, but that's what I'm doing in the moment.
Okay.
I'm not
Are
going
you-
to play around with wrestling these guys.
You're going to say anything dramatic?
Yeah, I'm going to say, well, I don't know if it's dramatic. I'm going to say, I have scores to settle with you, but I don't have time. I don't have time for it now. But if you force me, I will make quick work of all three of you.
Um, okay. So
Like, I don't have time to do what that you deserve. Like, I don't have time to do to you what you deserve. But if you force me, I will make quick work of you here.
Oh, that's great.
It'll be a mercy. It'll be a mercy, but
Yeah.
that's what I'll say.
Okay, so I would say your stamina plus a dice bonus,
Okay.
plus another dice just because you're backed up with Fareed. No, it's stamina? No, it should have been will, actually, since this is a. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay.
And wait a minute, their will is not anywhere near as good as yours.
Hopefully not. Although,
Oh, my high one is a 3.
okay. Oh, your high is a 3.
Yeah,
Almost a total victory. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
that is actually a total victory. You got more successes than they have dice.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so they stop and start to back off, making muttering imprecations and threats, and we'll find you in the dark sometime.
Yeah.
You better not have done anything to our sister. You've already led her astray. We're going to punish you. And all the time they're backing up and making sure that they're way out of sword range.
And so once they're like, once they've kind of, once it seems like that this has kind of worked, or they kind of backed off, I'll take advantage of maybe like wait for like some more activity in the street with people coming by, and then break off, kind of continue towards the beggars hall, and take continue with Fareed and Ida next with
Okay,
me. So
you're just gonna continue with your plan.
I'm good. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to. I mean, I've got to deal with those guys eventually, but
Okay, great. I need to pause for a minute, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back shortly.
sounds good.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so we change our focus to Yalu as he leaves the Emir's library.
Yeah.
You come out into the large courtyard that is the outer area of the Emir's palace. And if you would please give me I think we're talking a will roll here.
Okay. All right, I have rolled.
Okay, my high number is a 9.
I also have a 9 as my highest,
Set that aside. What's the next one?
and the second one is another 9.
Ah, okay. So you spot Attis, you spot Attis, your rival, spotting you just as you enter the courtyard, and he attempts to walk around appearing casual.
Okay. I think Yalu is now starting to suspect that something is up, but I don't think I want to confront Addis right now. I think I'm going to Yalu's now thinking, well, he's thinking the likelihood of him finding the answers in that incredibly dense and difficult book are pretty slim, based on based on previous events. So now he's thinking of playing to his strengths. So I have another plan.
Okay, what's that?
So I think Yalu, given his own freedom, assuming nothing else happens, is planning to go. Okay, well, let me ask: is it sort of common knowledge that there are people who sort of go in and out of the catacombs?
Yes.
Yeah.
In particular, there's a whole underground that's often referred to as the Beggars Kingdom,
Right. Yeah. So
and they have there's rumors of arcane knowledge in amongst the beggars.
So I'll Yalu, I think, will go back to his quarters, maybe, and grab a light glass of wine and some bread. But
Okay.
and he'll rummage around for some maybe old clothes from the old country that he hasn't worn in a while, and sort of leave the palace, or not the palace, the compound, and
Yep.
throw a pattern cape around himself and wrap it around his face to veil his identity, and go down to kind of the low market.
Yeah, you're dressing down and concealing your identity.
Dressing down and concealing my identity, and going down to the the sort of low market, where I'll sit in the in a square where people are mixing. I'm assuming there's some place where people sort of mix around to hear like entertainment while they're shopping, or
Uh-huh. Yes, indeed.
and
How are you approaching this search for, I guess, contact?
so I'm glad you asked. What I'm going to do is just start playing to get an audience, just playing some music, doing some standards. But then my big number will be a song I've improvised about a musician who hears a haunting song coming from the tomb of the Yellow King within the catacombs, and he wanders into the catacombs to search for it, but gets lost in its endless mazy passageway. And the chorus, or the refrain of the song, asks over and over again, who will help him find his way?
Okay. Well, I have some thoughts here. I want to check on some rules. Okay. Well, first thing I want you to do, I really like that description.
Okay.
So I want you to roll lore plus 2 dice.
Okie doke. Okay. Well, I have an 8.
No. I'm afraid I have 2 10s.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, I could also try to attract just a regular person. That's fine too.
oh, I'm aware of that, but something else occurred to me, and what I want to
Okay.
do is describe how you're delivering a partly improv song, right? Using your skills and playing the oud that you have strung in your particularly special way. Right. And you find yourself drifting into this strange world where you're starting to get like images.
Oh, here we go.
All images right. of the catacombs and this dark hall that appears to be of a what might once have been a lavish design of a 500 or 1,000 years earlier, some kind of buried hall, and it has got a sarcophagus in the middle of it, and you feel like you hear the twanging of musical notes from inside the coffin that are strange. And then you feel yourself being repelled, and you come back to yourself and realize that somebody's stolen your money purse.
Oh no. Okay. Well, money comes from other people. I can always get more.
What was your roll, by the way?
I'm almost. It was an 8, a 4, and a 1, I believe.
Okay, let me roll
But
something else.
But I think Yalu is more disappointed to have not been able to stay in that place than to have had his money purse stolen.
Yeah, I'm looking for. No, I don't have stats on him. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just make that up. Okay. What did you say your roll was?
8, 4, and 1.
4 and 1. Oh, okay. So you realize that your purse has been stolen. You're sitting there. You've come to the end of your music, and an old man in tattered rags sits down beside you, and he says, "You speak of strange places."
I will say I've always been fascinated by strange places. Are you?
You know there is great evil in some places beneath Shadrazar.
Yes, but they say there is great beauty there as well.
One may say that it is beauty, but evil can also have intense beauty.
I get this guy to just tell me where it is. Okay.
You want to ask him something to that effect?
Yeah. I will say, nevertheless, there's a place there I would go if I find someone who knows the way.
What is it that, what makes you worthy of this thing?
I was the master of music in the court of Omari. I am a musician of Shadrazar now. Am I worthy? Perhaps I am, perhaps not, but the only way to find out is to take the test.
Now, perhaps you could play something else for me now.
All right. Is there anything in particular you want to hear, or shall I improvise?
It's your choice. Sing of what you would do with this instrument of which you speak. What is your passion for it?
I will start playing, and I think I won't sing for a long time, but when I do sing, I will sing a plaintive song of, again, a musician whose instrument he has played to its very limits, and yet he still hears no new sound from it, and he yearns for an instrument that will play him a new sound unheard by man.
Okay, roll yourself your cover plus 1 dice.
Okay. There's my 10.
Okay, well, my highest is 7.
Okay, well, I have two successes then.
Uh-huh.
I have 10 and an 8.
Okay, so the old man looks at you and says, I feel your passion for this, and I see the talent that you may be bringing, and you may have the power to control what you seek.
Hmm.
So come with me.
All right. Very well.
And
I will
why don't
stand
we-
up and dust my robes off.
Okay, we'll change scene there and look at what Hanse is up to.
So I ideally have continued to the Beggars Hall and keeping an eye out to make sure the brothers aren't kind of following me. But I think that's the only.
Well, you got a total success.
Yeah.
There's no roll.
Okay,
I'm not
perfect.
going to make
So,
you make a roll.
but yeah, so and then I don't know. And like once I get to there, I'll want to, like I said, make just I want to enter as if there's nothing different than normal. Like I'm gonna just act as if like this is just my how I would go enter there anyway, like on a anyways, and I'm not gonna make any concession to the idea that that I'm not that my rule hasn't been kind of continuous. Like I'm not.
Okay, let me give you a bit more setting before we go forward.
Okay, sounds good.
So the Beggars Hall is part of the buried city. There's been
Okay, cool.
layers of previous cities or previous occupations have been demolished and built on top of in Shadrazar. And so the Beggars Hall is effectively underground.
Okay.
And there are well-traveled tunnels and passages, so you don't get into the maze where the supernatural thing that you encountered before is likely to be.
Right.
You have choices about, you might have special knowledge about how to get into this place or not.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and one of the things is, going along the passageways, it's going to be places where the beggars normally commute back and forth to the hall because, they pay a tithe. So they deliver money. It's their place of safety and food if they're not doing well, that kind of thing.
So I figure that I'll so I figure with that type of setup that likely as I kind of go into the tunnels or the catacombs, that likely that word will travel ahead of me that I'm on my way. Like that's I think that makes sense to me, that like kind of the word would get to whoever's there, Bazaar or whoever, that like I'm making my way there, and I'll be using the I don't know normal, but like I probably know like of a secret entrance or whatever. Like I think I do. I mean, I'm sure like I know like the secret back entrance or like the thing, but I'm not gonna take that. I'm
Okay.
going to,
You're being very direct and very
completely direct at the moment, and hoping that let's save my hopes and dreams for later. But
the power of leadership will lead some charisma to this.
And I want so that that's what I'm that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So I'm going to have you roll against Buzur to see if he rallies somebody to intercept you or to block you. Let me see here. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay. I don't know. It seems like you're exercising your will or your cover here.
Will, I think, at the moment.
Yeah. And again, I think I like the panache, so I'll give you a bonus dice.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I rolled 2 10s.
Yeah, my highest is a 9.
All right. So you're making your way openly through some of the main corridors, and when a number of the tougher thugs who you know are associated with Buzur directly show up, and they're there. They are wearing swords.
Mhm.
Okay. No armor, but there's 4 of these guys block the passageway and stand like with their arms crossed across bare chests and look down at you and say, "You're dead. This is no longer your place."
Oh, so I'll say I was
Sorry, man.
Yeah, you're back.
I'll say like who who passed on I don't know. So I'll say to them, I'll say to them, who told you that I was dead? Your friend Buzur, he I laugh if he thinks he can if he thinks that he will be able to hold on to any place that he may think he has taken my place, but I laugh at that. His treachery shall not be rewarded. But I'm not
I hear not.
Oh
the
no,
words
I'll
of the
tell.
dead.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Sorry. So, but I'll say. I want to say to them. Tell him that if he, you know, if he wants to take, I'm willing to give him the chance to legitimately like take his place as king, but he must face me directly and not act through treachery. If he's too weak to do that, then how would you have any trust in him to lead you? That's kind of that's my approach. Like if he's so weak that he had to use treachery for me, how long do you think before he loses he loses control to another scheming snake? Like
Okay.
tell
Well,
him
this
to
sounds
come
like
forth and see me. I will wait here for him. go get him.
Okay, this sounds like another persuasion attempt
Yeah.
or will challenge. So get your will dice. All right, I'll give you a bonus dice because again, you did a good description. Oh,
Oh, finally. Okay, maybe. So I've got a 10 and an 8.
okay, so
6s.
you have 2 successes. I'm going to extend this, and they're going to say, one of them will say, why should we allow this? You were defeated.
Um,
There are 4 of us. You will not get past.
yeah, I'll say, well, I don't know how much. I'll say, well, yeah, 4 guys I'm unlikely to, I don't know. I feel if I feel if I back down here, I've kind of lost it all. So I'm gonna say, so I'll say like, I was betrayed, not defeated. But if you wish to see what defeat looks like, then very well, and I will attack the guy who talked to me there.
Oh, you're just gonna,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
initiate an attack. Okay, so we're
No,
in.
and
Pardon me?
and I had the 2 successes there,
Yeah, you can carry
kind
that
of
over.
like carrying that over to
Mhm.
to attack him, and then I think I want to see if Gisu will boost my stamina here, like
Oh, yeah.
to like do like a, I want to hit the, I want this to be, I want to try to, like, I mean, I'm hoping I can, sort this out quickly. We'll see.
Yeah. He likes your position as the bigger king. He's going to support this. What
So
is it?
Boost adds, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it increases your. It's a. I better read that out.
I forget. It's been a while
Oh, I don't have
since I've boosted anything.
boost. Okay, well, what I read here in my notes on boost, not the actual rules, is that it adds. So
Perfect. I think that's what it is. Okay.
what
So
is,
I've got,
what is his power? It's like 7?
7. Yeah.
Okay, so you got 7 extra dice. Now, before you roll, we're doing free and clear. So
Yeah.
now, mind you, there isn't too much in this first initial thing. I think they're just all going to attack you back.
Yeah. That's fair.
Don't know that I'll make it any more complicated than that. Okay,
Let's see how it goes.
I'm gonna roll 3 dice for each of the 4 guys. And we're going to engage in a real brawl here. I don't have enough dice. Okay. All right, let's all roll.
Okay, that's not great, but better than nothing.
So the highest I've got is a 10. What about you?
I have 110.
110. Okay, set that aside. We're
Then I've
just
got then I got a 9.
We're deciding initiative here, and that means that you've got no. There's a guy with a. What happens when you do that? Well, this is interesting. It's multiple participant decisions. Okay, so we set aside the 9. What's next?
8.
8. That leaves you as going first.
Oh, good.
So,
Okay.
do you want to just attack?
Yeah, I'll attack the guy who talked to me.
Okay, I can actually mark which one that was. So let me roll to see which of these 4 dice groups that is. Okay, so it's the one with the high. His highest is a 10. What's you set aside your 10? Then what's next?
9.
9. My next highest is a 5.
Okay, so I've got an 8, a 7, and a 6.
Do you have any other dice, or is that all your dice?
And then I have no. Then I've got more dice. I've got like a 5, a 5, a 5, a 5, 3, 2, 1.
But you got 3 successes, which is as many as his dice.
Okay.
And it's a lethal attack. So I believe that does. I imagine he's just out of the combat, but let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. Wow. So 3 lasting damage and 3 next action penalties. So he's like down by 6. And as he's an NPC, I'd just say he's out of it. So you cut him down. Now, okay. If I remember correctly, you now get to roll your dice in defense against everybody else, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So re-roll your dice to give us a defense number.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is nice. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s.
Holy crap.
What?
So there we go. But that's with my soup. But that's when we powered up stamina wise.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
now,
boosted.
Does that stand as your defense against all the 3 remaining guys, or do you have to roll separately for each of the 3 remaining guys? I think it would make sense to roll separately.
I think you roll separately.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, how many 10s did you say you had?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 10s.
5 10s. Okay. So you cut his sword in half.
Yeah, something like that.
He goes flying back, giving you 5 bonus dice on your next roll.
There we go. And okay, I've got to pull out the extra die 10s here. 2. Have I run out? Nope. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Now just handfuls of these things. Oh, that's not as good. Only 110 that time.
My highest is 6.
Okay, so a 10, 8, 8, 8, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes again.
All right. And you blast this guy back, disarming him. And finally, you have 5 dice against the 5 dice bonus against the last guy. This is including your stamina boost.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this time 110. This wasn't that good. 110. And then the next highest is a 7.
Okay, so set aside the 10. My next highest is a 6.
Okay, so 2 7s.
2 7s. Okay. Well, you successfully defend against him. I don't think you knocked him down like you did the others.
Yeah, but I'm.
So we start with a new round. One guy is bleeding on the ground. 2 guys have been disarmed or otherwise knocked around, and 1 is still fighting with you. I'll just let you know, free and clear, the intent is, at this point, they're just going to run away.
I think I don't want to push it. So I will, I'm not going to chase them. I'm going to kind of like, if I do anything, I want to like make it seem to Fareed that like that was super easy what I just did. So it just like I want to like, if anything, I'm just trying to like prop up Fareed as like being like more confident in me now.
Ida is hanging back, leaning against, like holding the wall with this this look of just astounded wonder on her face.
So I will. So I think I'm just rolling will.
What are you doing?
Oh, do I need to roll? Or they're going to run away? Okay. Yeah. Conflict. Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'll let them run. That's fine. And I think I will also be, just to draw attention to my price, I will be, I think that counts as physical exertion. So I think I am down. I would draw to our attention that I should.
You're sweating or wheezing? What are the symptoms?
Yeah, I'm sort of I cough a little. Maybe, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to like make it seem like it was super easy to Fareed, that was easy, but then I kind of cough, a cough up like blood or something, and but I put just from the whatever plague I got, crypt rot or whatever. But I kind of try to push it aside and regain my composure, and then let's move on. Let's Bizarre will be waiting for us, but hopefully they will hopefully he will see that this approach, that approach will not work with me.
That was impressive. It just as a GM comment, it's amazing what happens with just one use of a demon power in the right moment, and how it applied all throughout the turn. So we'll put you on hold there and go see what Yellow is up to. So Blast. Oh yes, you had
following this old man.
Following. Okay, so he takes you into a lower room of a house that looks kind of disreputable, and then up some stairs into a much nicer appointed living quarter than you might expect. It's got nice Persian carpets and some softly cushioned couch and couch bed kind of arrangement, and brass tables, and there is a woman who seems to be a servant, and she as he waves you to sit down, he calls for her to get some fresh fruit and some wine, and you sit, and as you sit down, you notice symbols of what you might associate with superstition or magic in various locations on the walls, and little figurines and things like this. And he sits and he says, I am known as Old Tarsh. And you would seek the Hall of the Yellow King.
That is right.
How have you prepared for this journey?
So much.
Very little so far. I have sought money from my patrons, and I seem to recall that there was a problem with the money. But where I left off with that, I think like my personal patron was having cash flow problems, and so that was an issue. And then I kind of have been sniffing around the other guy, but I don't think I got a clear promise from him.
Yeah, Ashar. I believe the idea was that Ashar's father would finance your patron's business, his merchant fleet, so that he could recoup some losses.
Right. There was sort of a roundabout.
Yeah, and part of that money was going to go for you to buy the orichalcum that was required for the strings for the old one's instrument.
Right. Well, I will sort of briefly describe that like money for the strings is supposed to be forthcoming, but at present it is in limbo, or perhaps never land. I'm not certain. And then I went and sought the book of Al Shahad, I think it was.
Hamad, actually.
Al Hamad. But I was not up to the challenge of reading such dense and difficult language.
Well, that is unfortunate. The book of Al Hamad is full of ancient knowledge and might well have told you exactly what you wanted to know. However, it may not have told you that the catacombs surrounding the area of the Hall of the Yellow King are haunted. There is a horrible monster that manifests as packs of rats.
Is there not?
It's said to be a curse, and all who go there and spend too much time are devoured.
That's fearsome, but isn't there a story that tells of rats being charmed by the playing of a musician?
That would be a very interesting achievement. I do believe so. And you are ready to undertake this.
I will say I have no.
Oh, you froze. I imagine he's aware of that. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think I'll pause the recording.
Well, I'm worried. Okay, I'm not. I had this problem on Thursday night with
Oh, yeah.
John too, so this might be an ongoing issue with my internet right now, but I'll try to get as far as I can. What I ended up doing then was getting on my phone. So that's kind of like the backup plan is to try to get on through my phone if this keeps happening. Just FYI.
Okay. So to get back to Yalu and his response to old Tarsh, who's been warning him about a monster that manifests
Right.
as
Anyway,
rats, and you're suggesting that your magical talent or your musical talent could circumvent that.
right. And I'm just saying, you know, I need to go for this legend has seized my. I must find the instrument, and soon, because I suspect another man of possibly trying to interfere with me.
Well, unless he is as talented as yourself, I think he's going to find out that he is a fool, or at least as long as he lives.
He is not, but still.
All right.
Still, it worries me.
So, what would you ask of old Tarsh? He asked, speaking of himself in the third person.
Can you take me to the place? If you can't, can you give me some sort of map that I can follow?
The only map I have is in here. So you would be asking an old man to go with you into a dangerous place.
Okay. I'm sorry. Where were we?
He had just asked, how do you make it worth my while? I'm an old man.
Yeah. I'll say. In my room, like I must have something of value in my room, whatever. I'll just say I can get you money, or is there something else that you want?
Let me see. Money is always good. There is said to be near the hall of the Yellow King, there is said to be a chamber where a certain fungus grows on the walls. And this fungus is a highly valuable enhancement to one's perceptions and ability to reach beyond the present world.
Yeah.
If you would, I will lead you, but we will make a trip to this and we will fill up, and he pulls out a container with the fungus, and that will be your payment. Beware, there may be almost certainly encounters with the demon which I explained.
I will deal with it as I have proposed.
All right. So we pause there. I actually want to propose that this is a good place to stop for today.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then we have the trip into the underworld, and we have confrontation with Buzur coming up next.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
All right, great.
All right.
Let me pause